Hey, family, and welcome back to another episode of Journey to Harmony. I'm your host, Richard Harmon. On this channel, we talk about the process of building wealth, career opportunities, as well as how these processes combine to help to encourage us to become who it is that we were purposed to become. So today, I want to talk to you guys just about the new car market. So car prices, as we all know, have gone hyperbolic. They've mostly gone out of control over these last few years, ever since COVID, and prices have risen as high to an average today of where they are almost at a price of almost $50,000 for a brand new vehicle, which is absolutely unbelievable. So the average person who makes $50,000 or $60,000, you'd have to basically pay your entire year's salary in order for you to qualify for that. So what's happening? A lot of people are being forced um, to get co-signed to do different things. There, we talked about the car payments that are averaging about $700 to $1,000 at the current moment. Things are just really difficult right now, and I wanted to come to this and think about how exactly this affects our lives as people, right? So there's a CNBC article here that I'm reading over, and it was stating that only 8% of new vehicles cost less than $30,000. So those would be your hatchback little vehicles, those little Chevy Sonic looking things. And prior to the pandemic, it was almost 38%. So we went from 38% down to roughly about 8%. And now exactly you're like, if you're a you're a median income person, it's becoming very difficult for anyone to be able to purchase a vehicle. So when that happens, then there's even greater demand for used vehicles. So as you're looking to purchase something under 70,000 miles or something like that, those prices that once were $10,000, $12,000 are now 22,000, 23,000, $25,000 for those vehicles, which is a significant burden when you add on to that the cost of the interest rates currently, which are at the 7 or 8% in many cases. So this is the overall topic that we're going over today, and I wanted to talk about how this will affect people in everyday life. So in Europe has built their environment where they have trains that go even to the suburbs. So as far as you can think of, trains or with daily commutes go out to those destinations. They have buses, different things that are built for living without a vehicle. America, on the other hand, is not built in that particular way. So what happens is that if you're living, 20 minutes outside of the city, your bus may show up once an hour. The commute from one side of town to the other side of the town could take you an hour and a half to 2 hours. So if you have to be to work at 8 a.m., you're looking at a 2 hour commute many days just to get into work. That's 4 hours of your day spent doing something that could be used profiting you in another way. So it's a very interesting place that we find ourselves in. How exactly does this get resolved? We do know that inventory is currently building up and things are slowing. But what generally happens is when car makers see that this is the case, they begin slowing down their production. Which again, it's going to be interesting seeing how gets resolved, whether or not the prices fall back to pre-pandemic levels, or if there is a hold somewhere where the manufacturer just reduces production and leaves those particular vehicles out there, and then maybe fire some people or something like that, and just continue to produce just enough to keep the prices where they are. We see that happening currently when the housing market is very difficult right now for properties to particularly drop. But this is a very important situation, as I stated before. While other countries may have systems that are built for this, America is not that way. So now you're talking about the economic impacts of what not having transportation has on a person. A lot of times, these higher paying opportunities are going to be closer to the city limits. But the cost of living in those cities are not always affordable to the person who had a median income. So this is just a thought here, and as you're looking yourself, this is a situation where it might be necessary to buy something used, lower end, and do your best to just find somewhere where you can stay. That's easier for your finances and things like that. This is not always an easy situation. I understand that, but what we can do is to work as best as we can. No longer are we in a space where one income, unless you're making $150,000 or $200,000 a year, it's important for you to to be creating side incomes, to be creating side strategies on how you can benefit not only yourself but your family as well. What are your thoughts on this? Are you in the market for a new vehicle? What have you seen when you've gone out to purchase? Please comment below. Thank you for joining. Like, share, and subscribe. And have a good day.